Axne for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman Delgado. And as we work on solutions to address the climate crisis, it's absolutely imperative that we utilize the tools that we have in rural America and we take full advantage of the opportunities there to not just support our climate, but of course our farmers. So thank you for holding this hearing today. And then, of course, one of our best solutions we have is the use of biofuels and in our transportation sector. Biofuels, of course, support good-paying jobs in our rural communities. It's a robust market for our farmers and, of course, address the climate issues that we're facing. So I'm thrilled to see that in the Build Back Better Act, my bill, the one that provides for $1 billion towards the expansion of infrastructure for biofuels across this country, will help not just Iowans, but Americans. So, Ms. Score, my question first is to you, and thank you so much for being here and lending your expertise to the committee. As Congress debates the Build Back Better Act this week, what kind of benefits can we expect from the $1 billion investment in biofuels infrastructure within the bill itself?
Congressman, thank you so much for all of your work to make sure that that infrastructure funding is included in the Build Back Better Act. As you well know, this would be the largest investment in higher blend infrastructure we have seen to date. It really would unleash the power of biofuels. It gives us the ability to work with our retail partners to accelerate the market inclusion of E15, which is a lower cost, lower carbon, higher value fuel choice for consumers. So this is an unprecedented, wonderful opportunity for biofuels. It's great for American drivers, and it's certainly great for the rural economy.
Thank you for that, and I'm looking forward to the Build Back Better Act getting put into law, and I sure hope that all my colleagues that are here today vote for it because it's $1 billion in biofuels that we're talking about directly here. Of course, another top priority for me is making sure that we get E15 year-round. We just talked about that a little bit. And as you know, earlier this year, a court case struck down the EPA's authority that had allowed year-round E15. Very thankful for my colleague Angie Craig and her legislation to fix this issue, to make clear that the EPA has the authority. That's legislation that I helped introduce. And once again, we talked a little bit about uncertainty earlier in the previous question, Ms. Score, but if we don't address this issue of EPA year-round and pass our legislation to allow year-round E15, how is that going to impact sales and the market opportunities for farmers?
Well, I appreciate the question, and again, thank you for your support for year-round E15. We agree this is a misguided court decision, and unfortunately, next summer, E15 is sold across 30 states. 85% of those retail locations will not be able to offer for 3.5 months next year their consumers a lower cost, higher value fuel. E15 averages about 5 to 10 cents per gallon less than standard 87 fuel. It's a higher octane, it's cleaner burning, it's better for the pocketbook. So this is something that we've got to rectify. We appreciate your support, absolutely. We cannot realize the full potential of low carbon renewable fuels without year-round access to E15.
Well, thank you. And those are some sobering numbers that we all need to be keeping in mind here. I'm also, absolutely concerned that reduction of these E15 goals would impact our climate goals. They run in tandem. Earlier this year, a Harvard study concluded that corn ethanol reduces greenhouse gas emissions by nearly 50% compared to gasoline, all while being produced, of course, by our great farmers and communities across this country who support those economies. So my last question to you, Ms. Score, is as we look for ways to decarbonize, how can we utilize biofuels both domestically and internationally to take full advantage of carbon benefits?
There are so many ways that we can better utilize biofuels, and as you said, we cut carbon emissions in half relative to gasoline today, and with technologies that are available today, we can become, as an industry, net zero in terms of our carbon emissions. We need strong policy signals to show that there is a marketplace and a growth opportunity. We need a strong renewable fuel standard that blends 15 billion gallons of biofuel, of corn ethanol, every year into our fuel supply. We need year-round access to E15. We need infrastructure investments in terms of to allow for higher blends to be sold in 50 states across the nation. And importantly, as the discussion in our carbon-focused world continues, we need to make sure that the carbon modeling and the measuring stick is fair, it reflects up-to-date science, and it accurately accounts for all of the innovation taking place at the plants and on the farms.
Well, you summed it up so well. We've got 8 seconds left here, but thank you so much. And I want to continue to work with all of my colleagues here as we advance biofuels across the country to help our farmers and address climate. Appreciate it.